Give it just a second. Okay. I can see how slow my internet is. It's so funny. All right, let's start. Hold on one second. I have to do one more thing. With the slow internet. Okay. All righty. Standing up and breathing. So yeah, so the fall for me is always a time where my body has to do a lot more. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. A lot more to stay healthy, partly because I'm usually doing more work also. So I'm not getting as much sleep and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like the change of seasons as it starts to get cold is harder on my body, but it might just be that I'm busier, but I don't know. So I feel like I'm just constantly fighting off getting sick, right? It's like, oh, I gotta sleep more. I gotta take care of myself. I gotta do the lymph flush. I gotta make sure that I'm doing all my healthy things. Oh, let it go. Inhale, open it up. So what I'm saying is we're about to do the lymph flush in just a second, but shake, 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 get things moving. Couple more times. Inhale, lift, and exhale, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And inhale, lift. Exhale, let it go. Also let some sound go. Let's just do a couple of deep breaths with a big sound out. Inhale. Let it go. And inhale. Open. Exhale. Let out sound, let out sound, let out sound. So you're also like telling your system to let go of whatever you're holding on to. Inhale. All right, and we're going to do the lymph flush, rubbing your hands together, right hand to the upper left collarbone, getting to the subclavian vein where all the lymph is returning back into the bloodstream and then filtering out of your body. Moving underneath and moving above, right in that upper collarbone. And then changing it to the other side. Yeah, I have been like on my lymph every day, a ton. I'm like, oh, yeah. So eat right, get sleep, move your body in healthy ways. Don't sit too much. And meditate if you can, so you can downregulate or do some kind of meditation. Somatic practice is great. All right, so we're coming up here, angle of the jaw. So in our brain, there is the glymph, the glial lymphatic system. So it is clearing away the cellular waste, and it's coming out down here. So we really want to make sure we open up these pathways. Then it'll go down into the subclavian vein. Yeah, moving even under your jaw, moving from the inside and the outside. You can squish up your face. All that work with your tongue, like, lion pose, sticking out your tongue, getting your face moving around. All of that's going to help clear the stuff. And you can even, like, I don't know, I can see it in my face. I'm all puffy. All right, let's go to that one around your nose and the front of your face. Squish it up, move it around. And then go underneath to just under your cheekbone, get in there. We will be exercising shortly, tallly, longly. But all of this stuff, like if these things are blocked and you're getting going, it's not the greatest maneuver. So want to definitely be clearing out stuff. Let's do the hands, 10 little dragons running through the forest. Just encouraging any stuck, blocked lymph flow or glymph flow, glial lymphatics to move. blood flow, lymphatic flow, breath flow, cerebrospinal fluid flow, all the stuff that's like nourishing and clearing our body. We want it to move. And if we're really tense, we kind of restrict that movement. It's kind of cold in my apartment, but I guess I'm very activated and excited, so I'm not cold now. Armpit peck. So right hand to left, getting in there. Lots of little lymph nodes in your armpit. This is like clearing away waste. We want to clear away the waste. Same thing on the other side. And again, every day, you can do this more than once a day. Encouraging your body to be in a state of movement, internal movement and external movement, but internal movement. So things are moving through us. And then coming into, let's do the K27 points. Right in and under your collarbone. There should be 2 little points that your fingers can just nestle right into, just circling in there. Big breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, also clearing lymph, getting that movement in your organs. And then tap, Tarzan tap. Let go of anything you're holding on to. And also when you think of like all the things you've swallowed back, not saying, right? Like that can form as tension in your neck. So just inviting any unexpressed stuff to just clear. It's okay. Down to your xiphoid process, you're just going to pull along your ribs, just pulling down and out. So you're creating, well, you can also push up and in, getting the movement bi-directional. I've got bi-directional movement. Yeah, just clearing up so our liver isn't all jammed up there against our diaphragm. And then coming into the xiphoid process, here's my belly button, here's my xiphoid process, enter our cisterna chyli, right in there in the middle, biggest lymph node in the body, pumping in. See, this is one reason, that's right under your diaphragm, right? When we do the deep diaphragmatic breathing, it's squishing that around, but we're also just going to push into it. Pumping, coming down to our inguinal fold, right there. I'm wearing an Anthony t-shirt. This is his fish man. He's drinking a martini. Maybe it's a glass of wine. No, this is a glass of wine. Anyway, he made these a long time ago. Hands behind your knees. Just getting behind the eye of the knee. And then come around the front of your knee. You're going to come around the front of your knee, just getting in to that edge where people pinch you and it feels awful. But if you're rubbing in there yourself, it's going to be a little different. So we're letting that tissue move a little bit. Then down to your ankles, squish around your ankles. Going for the full shebang. And then come up, elbow in the eye of your elbow. You can go around the back, just squishing that out, down to your wrist. And then the other side, elbow and wrist. And you know what else I will say? There is a lot of stress and tension in the world. And when everyone's nervous system is doing this, even if you're not ever listening to the news, you're feeling their bodies. Our bodies are relating to each other, and like our nervous systems are in communication on below our level of consciousness. So if you're around a lot of tension or you're hearing a lot of horrible things and all this awful stuff is happening, taking on a lot too. So just invite your system to release that so you're not holding it, right? That's going to block things up. I'm not saying don't feel it. I'm not saying don't let it move through you, but try not to let it get stuck in you. All right, let's inhale again and open, reach out and up, interlace your hands. Like we want to be empathetic. We want to be compassionate to the world and to ourselves. Right. And there's a lot now that we get the news regularly, and it's also pinging on our phones. Like a couple hundred years ago, we wouldn't have any of those notifications. The town crier came through and said the bad news. Oh no, how often could that happen? Let's spiral, just a spiral. It doesn't have to be a huge spiral in your spine if it hurts to twist, but if it's okay, go deeper. If it hurts to twist, just get the shoulders and the arms a little bit more. Yeah. Before the printing press, how did they get the news? Circles with your shoulders. So now you're moving the subclavian vein underneath in your body. Big circles with the shoulders. And change direction up and over. And that's the one area where that lymph is just returning in, and that needs to be open. Ah, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, a lot of things to let go of these days, especially if you're spending time with people, which I mean, that we also need to do that. We are, what are we? We are tribal creatures who need to spend time with other people to co-regulate and down-regulate. So if the regulation is really stressful, we want to keep clearing as much as we can. So let's just sit and circle our ribs. Easy and relaxed, inner body softening. We're not trying to add tension. We're trying to let things move, softening and releasing any kind of blocked parts. Change direction. Inviting our systems to process and integrate. And then open your arms, side stretch, over to one side, and inhale up and over to the other side. We also want to start to notice when we're taking on tension, right? Noticing when we're holding, noticing when we're getting, so that we can go, oh, I need to let go a little bit. So we can start to, if we keep blocking out what we're feeling, then we are just building like tension on top of tension. Take it sideways, take it forward, take it to the side. And as a culture, we're not particularly good at working with grief or even emotions, right? That's a big statement of as a big like American culture. That's my big huge statement. I think different cultures within the American culture deal with it much better than other ones, but my Northern European roots are pretty, let's not talk about it. Spiral to one side and then to the other. Not the warmest people. Spiraling back and forth. If it feels okay. If it's too much, don't twist that much. Change it so your non-dominant leg is in front. And we're going to go side again. Let's go side a couple times. Then we're going to change it. Feeling the curve from your tail to your head through your whole spine. So as we're moving, our little cushy marshmallowy discs, which are springing the vertebrae away from each other, are getting more bouncy and resilient. Bouncy trouncy. Take it to one side and just round forward on the exhale, and then inhale, open, lengthen, spiral up. Exhale towards your leg, down. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Big breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Take it deeper to the side and inhale, open it up over to the other side. Side stretch. Exhale down. Inhale, spiral. Being like a tree moving in the wind. And then just take it deeper down to the side and come up. And let's take it forward. Relax down the front and then snake through your spine, rippling from side to side. letting go, deep release inside, inviting your body to soften and melt. And then come into center and roll it up, and we'll come onto our backs. Let's do it this way. Let's start with, oh, my whole lower back just released. I've been spending so much time in the car driving, and I tell you, that just is not good for my body. Circles. Yeah. And like, it takes me about an hour and 15 minutes to get where I'm going usually for these rehearsals. And then obviously to go home, same thing. And then I've sometimes have another rehearsal, which adds another hour and 10 minutes or hour and 15 minutes. And so like spending that much time in the car, even though it's not like in a row, my back really feels it. It's like, oh, this is too much stillness and too much like, I have yet to find a car seat that I've ever sat in that really is, I think, ergonomically good for your back. All right, let's let that go. Just shake it out for a second. Shake, 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 shake your arms, shake your legs, free up your spine, have a little tantrum on the floor. And then let that go. Drop the feet down, knee drops from side to side. You can turn your head in the opposite direction or the same direction. Actually, let's slow it down for a second and just roll from side to side. So rolling from one side to the other, opening and closing with the arms and legs. Massaging across your back as you go from side to side. Releasing tension into the floor, letting the gravitational pull of the earth draw your tension down and away into the floor, melting and softening. Delicious rolling, letting go, pouring your body from side to side. Like you're like a balloon filled with water. I don't know why that image seems really funny to me, but a balloon with limbs rolling, just easy and loose, a water balloon. Great. And then let's come in and warm up our back a little bit more. We're going to lift up. Feet are parallel, circles with your pelvis, as big or small as feels good in your body. Yeah, the other thing, doing this choreography for this show means I'm up late at least 3 or 4 nights a week, and I normally don't go to bed late. And so I'm not having my morning walk every day. So a lot of like my body has to adjust a lot to this situation. Like normally I get up at like between 7 and 8 and go out and take a walk. And now I am very rarely doing that. I'm usually getting the walk in, but later in the day, like it might be in the afternoon or some other point. If you haven't changed direction, change directions. I don't know if I said it. Come into center, lift as high as you can, interlace your hands behind your butt if possible, walk your shoulders closer together, push the floor away. You're going to inhale, knees open, exhale, knees closed. Inhale, open, exhale, closed. Inhale, open, exhale, closed. Inhale, open, exhale, closed. Inhale, open, exhale, closed. Come into center, heels off the floor, heels up, heels down, heels lift. Heels lower, heels up, tippy toes, and lower and up and lower. And then flexing your foot, flex, foot down, flex it up, down, flex, down, flex, down. And then just your toes, just the toes and down, toes and down, toes and down, and toes and down. Open, widen, and roll down through your spine. Just release, stretch through one side and then the other of your body. Get really long, stretching one side and then the other. So Tom Myers, who does this thing called Anatomy Trains, talks about these like anatomy trains of fascia where there's like this line from the top that's going like the long back line, the long front line, and like these, but really we're all completely connected, right? There isn't like a train of fascia, but it's a great image to think of these like lines through our bodies going from the top to the bottom, and the whole thing needs to stretch. But if we feel into our body, it's one whole connected body, right? We don't actually have like I think somebody was doing like a cadaver dissection, like, well, where's the fascial train? I don't see it. And it's like, no, it's the whole thing. It's all connected, right? So that's why we want to make sure that we're really getting our whole movement from our fingers to our feet through the length of our body so that all that fascia gets to stretch out. But it isn't like there's one place. It's this whole connected three-dimensional interwoven matrix of fiber and fluid, right? And the fibers and the fluids within our fascia, depending on the type of fascia, some are really easily movable, and some of them are much more like bandy and strong, like our IT band. Like some people are like, oh, my IT band's really tight. It's supposed to be. If you didn't have a tight IT band, you'd fall over, right? That kind of like really thick, dense, almost like packing tape fascia has to be strong. Internally rotate, but the layers between that packing tape fascia, and there's other layers that are sort of cross-hatching it, and those other layers might be really gelatinous and much more mobile, or they are. Those layers between each other need to have movement. So sometimes when people feel like they have a tight IT band, it's really that those layers don't have as much movement as they could, which is why we want to have like these internal rotation movements and external rotation, so that the movement of our muscles, our fascia, our bones even have these relationships where there's spiraling capacity, there's up down movement, there's side side. It can like be very three-dimensional. That's healthy, coherent fascia that has those capacities. That's why we want to go out of the linear patterning sometimes and get into much more diverse patterning with our movement. Stick our hands behind our head, legs up to the ceiling, flex your feet, flexing through the long line of the back train of fascia, right? From the back of our head, through the back of our body, up through our feet. But it's also our skin. It's also our wholeness pattern. Flexing on top, you're going to point as you come down and cross body. Flex it up, cross. Try to touch your elbow to your knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And so when we're moving in these three-dimensional ways, and our body is getting this capacity to hydrate on a micro movement level, like little tiny movements readjusting, and then also big movements, gross macro motor movements, where our tissue is going to be healthier. It will heal faster, right? Because it's not sort of stuck and blocked. 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Drop it down. Free up your spine, free up your head tail connection, wag your tail, let your head and neck move. Shake it all out, jiggle, jiggle, relax your face, and just feel yourself dropping into the floor for a second. So big breath in. On the exhale, let yourself drop into the floor. In a way, we can feel like as we're breathing, our body's growing and shrinking, right? The whole thing kind of getting bigger on the inhale, or our whole, as we take in the oxygen, our diaphragm pushes down into our organs. We're filling up. It feels like we're filling up with air. And then as we exhale, just letting ourselves drop deeper into the floor. So there's a sort of lightness and levity with the breath, filling us up, and then exhale, sinking down into the floor. Let's just turn our head gently from side to side, looking around the room, taking in the information that you are actually safe right now, and nothing is going to happen to you in this moment. Or rather, let's say nothing is happening in this moment. Who knows what's going to happen in the next moment? And it's interesting, we talk about safe spaces and being in safe spaces. We can really honestly talk about relatively safe spaces, right? We can't guarantee anything. Life is happening. Let's have the hands turn. So it's almost like you're doing like a Tai Chi, holding something, moving from side to side, holding the energy between your hands, but feeling that relationship of side-sideness, right side to left side, with your hands and your head. Right, so that's one of the developmental patterns, homolateral, one side to the other side, split down the midline. All right, so let's do the first big pattern is upper versus lower. So let's do a heel rock, digging into our heels. And when we keep moving through these patterns, like I do an upper versus lower pattern, I do a right side versus left pattern, I do a contralateral pattern, it doesn't really have to happen in any order. But what we're offering to our nervous system is this little gentle toning massage by moving in all these different ways, right? That's why we want multi-planar movement, moving in different planes, moving in different relationships to gravity. Like I'm on my back, if I'm on my front, it changes everything. So let's flip it over and go onto our fronts. So just rolling onto your belly. And we're going to do another one to really release and soften. Just head onto your hands. Let your body weight drop into the ground. Just give it a shake. So we're grounding our energy when we let ourselves connect to the earth, we feel into gravity. That's a natural way of getting more grounded. Oh, I feel gravity. I feel more earthy. And then we're just going to push up and down. So we're finding the fluid in our body and just jiggling it around as we push up and down. Letting that movement hydrate tissue, relax tension. Right? Often we don't feel the tension until someone touches us or we touch into something or something gets injured. And then we're like, oh, I feel that. So when you start to notice it, see what you can let go of. And then bend your knees and let your legs fall from side to side. Just feeling how this relationship to gravity changes everything. And, people talk about tummy time for babies. It's good for adults too. We want to get a little bit of tummy time in there because then when we are coming up, that's how we build our back muscles, right? Let's go opposite arm to leg. And we're also letting the front of our body get that hydration from the water moving down. And let's come up and just do regular old Pilates swimming. Adding a pumping breath. So big sniff through your nose, big exhale. And relax, come down. And then inhale, push the floor away, arch up, opening the front of your body, and exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, pushing the floor away, arching, lifting, opening, and exhale, release and melt. Inhale, arch, lift, open, exhale, drop it down. Inhale, open, exhale. Just coming up as high as feels good to you. Come up, bend your knees, see if you can touch your toes to your head. If you can, you're probably 6 years old. Take it back and child's pose. Melt and soften, surrender and let go. Nothing to hold onto. Let it all slip away. Let it all melt away and just gently rock from side to side. Let it go. And then come back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a backstroke with the right arm, swimming through the space 3 times, letting your head follow your hands. I don't know if I did 3 or 4. Change direction, other way. Swimming forward, feeling that connection. Wings of the heart, your arms connecting out from your heart, out from your lungs. Switch it to the other side, backstroke, swimming through the space, chest, lungs, heart opening. Feeling it all the way out to that distal edge of your fingers. And change direction, other way. And then come in. We're going to do elbows to the floor, coming up, tippy fingers. Take your weight forward, push up and through. Sink down, lower the heel of the hand, elbows down. Up, through to the tippy fingers. Push, so you're pushing up through your rhomboids and then sinking down, lower, drop your elbows. Coming up to the hand, tippy fingers, push through, sink it down, drop the heel of the hand, drop your elbows. Up to your hand, tippy fingers, push, sink, lower the heel of the hand, elbows down. Through the whole hand, tippy fingers, push up, sink down. So that's not a cat-cow. It's really moving through this space right in here. So just go in for a second. Let's go all the way up to fingertips. So up onto your fingertips, sink and push. Imagine energy radiating out from your fingertips into the floor. And at the same time, radiation from the earth, the good kind. Is there a good kind? There must be. Earth energy coming up through your hands into your shoulders. Good. And relax and let that go. And let's just internally and externally rotate here with the hands, letting the fingers really spread and present and then come in. Really three-dimensional movement through the arms. Opening, let's go a little bigger with that. And a little bigger. And let's open it so we're opening the chest and lungs and heart, and then rounding the spine. Opening, folding it in. Not really folding, closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. So this is always connected, right? This connection from our hands to our heart. Let's take our hands together. So you're going to reach your hands to one side, slide across. Wait. I just did it. How does it work? Ooh. Yeah, you're just going to open out, slide across, and then open out, slide across. So you're bringing energy from the periphery of your body in, and you're energetically reaching out. So it's coming in and out at the same time, right? In and out, in and out. You're just reaching across, washing the front of your arm. Let's change it. So let's go from down to up, down to up, down to up with your arm out in front, down to up and over your shoulder, up and in. Hello, taking a nice little loving bath of energy, of your own energy. Spiral in even more, just wringing in and out. Wringing the tissue, inviting the fluids in your body to be more coherent and integrated. So nothing's blocking, but it's all alive and vital, right? Your energy is working with you, not against you, right? This is one reason why we really want to let ourselves come into coherence with ourself so that we're heart, guts, and mind on the same page, right? And that's one reason why we want to know what we're feeling in our bodies so that we can be in alignment in that way. Like if I'm denying what's going on here, then there's a huge disconnect. And that's part of the problem in the whole world is that we're all, we're agreeing to a lot of things out there that aren't organically healthy for the planet, for our bodies, for everything else, right? All right, I don't know. People are very violent, but I don't think all people are very violent, but we seem as a tribe to be incredibly violent. And it just continues to keep playing out, violent against each other. So I feel like for me, the answer to all of that is to come into my own heart and be as kind and accepting as I can of myself. And then I can do the same thing for other people, right? If I'm angry at everything and it's all out there, it's all coming into me and my body's doing this. But if I can go in and go, oh, maybe I can let go of some of that, then it's different. Let's come onto our forearm plank, head forward, heels back. Because where is everything happening? In your body. Your whole experience of life for your entire life is happening in your body. Even as you're dreaming from being in your body. Let's take it down. And if you have an out-of-body experience, you can't do that if you don't have a body. One knee to the floor at a time. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Crossing underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it down. Melt. Surrender. Let go. So as I relax down here, I can feel my pulse like in my belly, Just see what you can feel. Breathing into it. So that we're not armoring ourselves by working out, but we're releasing tension. We're not building more capacity to ignore every shitty thing that's happening, but we are allowing it to move through us and not get stuck in us. And let's interlace our hands behind our back. Inhale up, exhale, double pulse, heels, heels. Upper body, lower body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Reaching through your toes, heels to your butt. Reach it out, fold, reach, fold. Last one. Reach, hands next to your chest, come up, round your spine, curl, slowly descend into your child's pose, letting go. Surrender and melt down there on the floor. You can turn your head from side to side, let it go. And then shift your weight back. Yeah, and sometimes like we're in situations where we're helping other people or taking care of people, and we have to be the strong one and not have the emotions and, help them. And we also have to be really compassionate with ourselves for that, right? Yes, that happens. That's part of life. But we also have to give ourselves a chance to experience our emotions sometimes, right? Whew, this is a heavy class today, but there's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the world. But there always has been. It's always been that way. There's always horrible things happening. Anyway, so what can we do but soften within our own selves, or just become like armor all little cockroaches? All right, one leg up, the other leg out. Breathing into it. But I'm also not suggesting we just become mushy, bowls of everything's okay. It's not like that at all. Like, we also want to have our boundaries, the capacity to say no, the capacity to fight for things. It seems the way the world works. But what does fighting for something mean? And come in and relax. Turn your head from side to side, let it go. And then let's do some spirals. If spiraling is going to be uncomfortable, just do half and half, like take your upper body with your lower body. But if you feel okay, big twist, head away from your knees. And you could do this with straight legs if you want. Just because of the space in here, I'm leaving my knees bent. If your back feels good, turn your head away from your legs. If your back is feeling not so good, turn your head in the same direction. And come in and release. Shake it out, let it go. So we want to do exercises where we're building strength. We also want to do exercises where we're really gaining mobility, agility, the capacity to move. And then we also want to be working so that we're stretching things out and expanding. So we're not just tightening up our muscles, but also we don't have to be crazy hypermobile, right? Like super yogi hypermobile or super dancer hypermobile. If you're a dancer, yes, work on that. We want flexibility, but we don't need to be like, I can do the splits or whatever. It doesn't have to happen unless it's part of your career or your path. All right, let's go arms over your head, stretch your legs out. You're going to bend your knees. Inhale, lift, open your chest and lungs. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, stretch. Like really functional movement to have a body that's capable of doing a lot of things for the rest of your life requires a lot of soft exercise too, where we're releasing and letting go. We're not just armoring up. Inhale, open, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Take it down. We're going to take our hands down by our sides. You're going to flex your feet and you're just going to see if you can pop your butt off the floor and then release it down. So you're working your back, coming into a little arch, popping your butt up, pushing with the back body, and then release it down. And again, push, little arch. That's the back line. And release. And push, back body working. And release, hamstrings working. And push. And release. I'm not going very high. And push. And release. And let it go. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. And let's come onto our sides. We're going to do this one, knee bent, elbow bent, reaching into the back space and then folding in. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Open, close. In through your nose, if possible. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and come down. Switch it to the other side. Pressing it up. Arch back. Reach. Last one. And come down. Let's come into soles of your feet together. Taking your head forward, breathe and relax. Relax your neck and shoulders. You can turn your head gently from side to side. Relax your jaw. And then come up, open it out into a straddle. Again, this, like, I am a dancer. I do a bunch of things where I do need to be super flexible. So don't worry if you're not. This is fine. You can also bend your knees here, wherever you are. I know a lot of people in my Zoom room are super flexible also. Circles with your body, again, mobilizing your organs. Mobilizing your torso. So we're not trying to squeeze and stop anything from moving or work harder. We're trying to work easier and get more fluid and more mobile, change direction. I mean, the amount of gut holding that I think so many people do, including myself. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder everyone has these digestive problems and all the different things. Oh, there's all this tension going on. So I just hold more. We want to start to let that go. The holding patterns that we've really learned how to be being in our society, like, oh, you're supposed to have a body that looks like this, which is just not realistic. And also, it's not healthy. So letting your body have some movement where we're not sucking it in and pulling it up and like we're not corseting ourselves all of the time. Occasionally, like if you're going to pick something up, you might want to engage that corset, but that deep layer of abdominals. But most of the time, you do not want to be engaging and squeezing in your organs and your guts. But I have to say, I hold a lot of tension in my guts, a lot of tension for most people in your butts and your guts. So just seeing when you can let some of that go. Let's go to the side stretch, breathe into it, elongate from the central channel, lengthening out, opening up, take it down, breathe. Bring it into center. And push the floor away and come up over to the other side stretch. Turn and face the leg. Walk it into center. And then push the floor away and come up. And let's bring the legs together. Bang them up and down, rotate in and out. Loose and easy. Let's just do one set of tricep push-ups. So elbows into your sides. You can do this with your knees on or off the floor. If you feel pain in the front of your deltoid, in the front of that joint, don't go very deep. They can be shallow, that's fine. And if you're feeling that pain, then do it with your knees on the floor, make it less intense. Off we go for 10, going 1, 2, 3. You may go slower or faster. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Curl your toes under, take it to a downward dog. Walk through your feet, bend one knee and then the other. Looking under your armpit on one side and then the other. Reach your tail to the ceiling, lift your heels high and lower your heels. Lifting up and lowering down, lifting up and lowering down. We're gonna roll it through, lift up high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward, find your plank, push your heels back, strong plank, drop your head, push with your arms, roll it up to the ceiling, and then lower your heels. Heels high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward into your plank, find it, drop your head, push, roll it up to the ceiling, lower your heels. Heels high, scoop your belly in, and your spine. Roll it forward, find it, drop your head, push, roll it up and lower. Last one, heels high, scoop, round, roll. And let's lower all the way down. 10 in 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or slower. Arch up, round your spine, child's pose. Wiggle from side to side, let it go. Shift your weight back and come up. And we're going to do a little hip release, cross one leg behind the other. So one knee behind the other knee, open your feet wide and just shift your weight backwards and then forwards. Head reaches forward, tail reaches back. And if you're not feeling anything at all, or you need to get a bigger stretch, take it down and sit in it. Breathe into it, or keep moving forward, backwards. Really work with what's working for you. Big breathing into your body. And then take it forward, change it out. Other leg is in front. Head reaches forward, tail reaches back. Feet open wide. Try to aim your butt right between your heels. So it's not shifting off to one side, but it's going straight forward with your head, straight back with your tail. If you're ready, when you're ready, take it back and down, hang out there, breathe. Letting go of whatever you are ready to let go of. When I'm in this position, if I'm down, like I like to just micro move my spine or macro move my spine, just getting movement in there so everything can adjust, hydrate, heal, reabsorb any stuff that needs to be reabsorbed, right? So instead of having little crunchies hanging out and calcifying, let's have them reabsorb into the system, reabsorb into the waste and get rid of them. Composting, whatever you got to compost in your body. Legs out, give them a bang up and down. Really let the calves relax. So relax as much as you can. Hamstrings relaxing, just giving them a little bang. Walk your butt from side to side. Take it into a forward fold. Hang out. Surrender. Let go. You can bend your knees here if you want to. So if you're not getting very far forward, go ahead and bend your knees and just round into it. Breathing through your whole body, imagining that your whole body is breathing with it is, breathing on a cellular level, deep cellular breathing. And then let's come in, standing on your legs. You're going to internally rotate your legs. So feet are turned in, drop it down, just shift a little bit there. So you should feel a different stretch in the outside of your calf, or your peroneals are getting a stretch in that internal rotation. Especially if you do things like spin class, if you're cycling, or if you're doing a lot of, or hockey or something, skating, where you're turned out or where you're parallel a lot, you want to get the tissue to sometimes turn in. Not turning in to like do a lot of work, but turning in to release and give the tissue more dynamic mobility. Come back into parallel and roll it up through your spine all the way up to the top. So dynamic mobility when you're moving in different sort of relationships to gravity and to space. Inhale, open it up, reach to the ceiling, and exhale. I have really low ceilings in this apartment. Like I can almost touch the ceiling. Inhale, lift, and exhale, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Inhale, it's a top floor apartment. Lift and exhale, shake, 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 shake. All right. If you were here for any part of this, you made it anywhere into this. Ah, there's a person watching. I hope you moved. Favorite stretch. Awesome. I wonder which stretch that was. I'm just going to close it out. So if you made it through, people in TV land, thank you for coming. Please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you can to help me grow my channel so it can actually become a professional account, because it still isn't. Anyway, that's the nature of the